this, I'm sure this is a coach's dream, but it seems like every game it's somebody else, right? There's enough, inconsistency in the production that it's kind of keeping everybody engaged. What do you see as far as a coach? You don't ever want people to rely on one person to pull through, so I'm sure it's something you like seeing.
I was trying to figure out what was going to be the coach's dream of this statement. I was like, playing Texas A&M, Texas, Florida, La Tech on a Wednesday, going on the road for 8 days. What part is the dream here that I'm missing?
Dream or nightmare?
Yeah. No, it has been fun to see a lot of different players throughout this lineup be contributors, and I think it can be anybody's day, and we've talked a lot about that. I think there was a stretch where we scored 11 runs one day. Maybe it was at Georgia, I can't remember, but Danica was, 0 for 4 that day, and we just talked about how, everybody's important throughout this lineup, throughout this team, and, we pitched our way to a victory, I thought, one game this weekend, hit our way to a victory one game this weekend, so we've done it a lot of ways with a lot of people.
And just picking up on the cues from them, the messaging, I guess, that you're giving them is that kind of anything is possible. Danica was talking about teams needing to respect your speed. Do you feel like the versatility with this team is really enabling you all to hit those different buttons?
Yeah, I think we've done a good job of capitalizing on our strengths, and the speed is definitely one of our strengths. So I think, we've done a good job of making that be a factor, of continuing to apply pressure with the speed, and just, making it a huge part of our game this year.
I wanted to ask you about the bunt you laid down Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That was beautiful.
Perfectly
executed, right?
It was executed well. If it works, you look like a genius, and if it doesn't, you look like a fool. So, but it worked out for us, and it was a big moment in that game.
Well, take me through it. Is that a squeeze, or what do you call that?
Squeeze.
Yeah. So
Yep.
you just read how the defense was playing, or something like that?
Yeah, I just thought it was a good time for it. Just the personnel we had in place at that time was well suited for it. Jayla's a really good bunter, and we had speed on third, and I thought they were playing us pretty deep at the time. Jayla is capable of a lot of things, including, putting them all over the fence. So I think it was a good time for it, and it seemed to work out. Like I said, if it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't, you're a fool. But lucky for me, it worked this time.
Well, does it work because she is hitting so well that, they've got to back up and not expecting that?
Yeah, sure, part of it. And then I think part of it's like what you have on tape. I don't think we've used her in that spot yet this year, so it's probably pretty surprising. But I think it's something we've known is in our pocket the whole time. Just have to pick and choose your spaces where it's going to be significant in a ball game, and it was right there.
How about that? What have you liked about her transition to this team, and where she's picked up and what she's provided for you guys?
Yeah, I think she's really excelled this year, honestly. I think she's having her best year, and I think she's doing a lot of things really well. I think it's nice to have someone in the lineup that's new to us but has a ton of experience in the SEC, and I think there's no substitute for experience. So what she's brought to us has been great, and then what her and Bryce have been able to do with her swing and her offense and the way she's attacked other pitchers has been really incredible.
Tori continues to just impress with, in new ways and different ways, similar ways but new, right? I mean, that shot was
303 feet.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
What is she doing so well? I just wondered if it was the time away gave her a fresh perspective or eyes or something that maybe she's really tapped into.
Well, I think she's the best freshman in the country, and I think we should all make that known everywhere we go. I mean, I think she's having an incredible season, and I think even more incredible is that it's her first full season, so many awesome things about her. She's a great athlete. She's a great hitter. She leads us in the weight room. There's so many places where she's just an incredible player. She's also really, really smart, really studious, studies the other pitchers, is prepared, asks the right questions. She does so many cool things that it's going to be tough to stop her.
I think she said her dad's a strength and conditioning coach, so obviously she's a strong kid.
She is. Her brother was on the football team this year, right? So we compare their weight room numbers sometimes, and we'll, shoot them over there, and they're pretty incredible what she's able to do. I know she has some of our school records here on the softball team, so we've been comparing them at times, and I don't think they like that very much.
That's funny.
I may chat with Yvette next week, so I just wanted to, just real quick, was she one of the first people you talked to when you were up for this job, Yvette Gerard?
Yeah, I mean, I think she co-signed the hire. I think, she had been a mentor to me before even this job came about. I knew her well, just through my coach. I played for and coached with one of her former players, so I knew her well and had a ton of respect for her. So she was a mentor to me already before I got this job, and hopefully she co-signed the hire, and I think I was on her short list, I hope, and she's been a big supporter ever since.
Just for I guess maybe the new generation who doesn't know her, I mean, for her to go to the World Series, 3 times at a small school like she did and built what she built, I mean, how impressive was that to, you and your peers coming up in the game?
I mean, she is softball in the state of Louisiana, and her reach is far beyond the state of Louisiana. But I mean, a big reason why we're standing here today in beautiful Tiger Park is because of what she did in this state and the foundation that she laid. And she did it really on her own 2 feet with her bare hands, just building up that program and building up the sport. And we owe her a ton. So I hope she feels appreciated every time she comes around, because she is truly a legacy here and just somebody that we think the world of.
Is that this might be off camera. I'll ask it later. How about A&M? Just,
I love these cobble questions, don't you?
I'll put you on spot on camera. You want to talk about UNO tomorrow, and then we'll talk
We
about
play
A&M?
La Tech, but sure, they don't have softball at UNO. So.
They don't, yeah.
It's all right.
In-state school. Just,
Sure, they're all the
300
same.
miles away,
Yeah.
that's all.
Check.
All right, Tech.
They're all the same.
What do you got in Tech there?
Lady Privateer softball.
I mean, they're a good team. Played us close last year. They beat a couple really big-time opponents this year. Auburn, Oklahoma State wins over both of them. So, I mean, they have some really good wins. They're having a strong year. They're well coached. They'll be well prepared. I think anytime we're playing somebody from in our state, it becomes a big game, and it's super important. So, next most important game is the one that we're playing next on our schedule.
How about UNO?
How about them? They should get softball. They should start a team.
But Master P's over there now, so he can maybe.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he's the head of basketball operations. GM, my bad.
Oh, Lord. Perfect.
Danica said that it's not greedy to want sweeps. So y'all are 8-4, which I'm bad at math, but that's 2 out of 3 every weekend so far. So she was like saying what she'd like to. So does that give them something to continue to want to get better and work for?
I think it's tough. I think it's tough to sweep an SEC team. I think especially with the schedule we have in front of us. I mean, the next 3 opponents are all in the top 5. So I'm not even sure how that's possible, because I think some days we're in the top 5 too. So it's pretty tight quarters up there. But I think a sweep in the SEC is incredible. I think every win in the SEC is huge. So every time you get a chance to beat a team, whether you beat them the day before or not, every game's important.
And some of these midweek games you're playing, your offense, like in the past, if you fell behind 4-0 somewhere or 2-0 in the 5th inning, you might have been in trouble, right? But last week you scored 12 runs in the last 2 innings at McNeese, and the UL Lafayette game on the road. I mean, this offense, does it give you kind of some flexibility in terms of your pitching?
It does. I think, when you have offense, you have hope. So we're never out of a ball game. You're never too far behind. You're never gone. And I think it's allowed our pitching and our defense to play a lot more confidently, especially when we get early leads like we have. So once you get that early lead, and go attack the zone differently and play defense differently. And that's been a big factor, especially when you have a big arm like Sydney Burzon, Jaden Heavner. They can do their job even better, and they already do it pretty darn well.
How important is this stretch coming up? I know you have La Tech tomorrow, but going on the road back-to-back weekends in Texas and staying out there against 2 top 5 opponents, how important is this week, and how difficult is it to go out there and stay out there?
Yeah, it's something we've never done, honestly, in my time here, and I'm getting pretty old. So something we've never done is a back-to-back series like this, staying on the road with a team like this, but we felt it was the best opportunity to get them more rest and get them more prepared. So we made the decision to stay, and especially with the Easter weekend and moving up the game at Texas, we just decided it was the best thing to give us the best opportunity to win, understanding how important these next 2 series are.
What's critical in a situation like that? Off the field, like, how do you manage that with so many girls?
We got to have a lot of fun things planned. You definitely need a mall trip at some point. You got to have some time for them to get some space on their own. But we've also set up some practices at other universities just around the area, just making sure we get what we need, trying to make sure we pack our pitching machines and all the things we would need to get the team ready. So definitely makes it a little more complicated on that front, but hopefully it gets the team the rest they need to compete at the highest level.
That's cool. Are you guys making shirts, or is it like anything like crazy? Like...
No, we should have. I was gonna do hats, but I didn't do it. So
Tie-dye. Do you have any Disney shirts?
yeah, that would have been funny, but no.